Hello, my people, my people, my people. How are you doing? How have you been? I know I have disappeared over the last couple of weeks. It's been just a tough couple of weeks, settling down, some work, some school, some fatigue, just getting over some fatigue. I was a bit under the weather. So I didn't even have the strength to do another podcast. And I knew you guys were anxiously waiting, but no worry not. I'm feeling a bit much bit better. Bit much better? Much bit. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling better now. And yeah, I'm just glad to be here. So, guys, if you're new here, welcome to the podcast. And we are so glad to have you listening in. So, guys, today we are doing a film review for the first time. As you know, in my intro I told you I'll be doing film reviews once in a while. And this film I'm going to review today, I did not expect it to be the debut film I'll be, reviewing. And you won't guess the film. First of all, I have to say, I have never seen a more worthwhile 4 hours. I have never spent a more worthwhile 4 hours in my life, Maze. When I saw that the movie was 4 hours, like, I'll be bored. Plus, it's a DC Universe movie because I'm a Marvel fan. And I did not expect to sit down from start to end without moving. Okay, there were breaks in between. But, man, guys, Zack Snyder's Justice League is fire. It is fire, my people. Fire. So, first of all, I never watch movies with the hype around them. But because they said they were going to make a review of this movie, I said, I have to just watch it. Because the previous one before this one was... Okay, let me just say this. You might be wondering, why is it called Zack Snyder's Justice League? This is because the same movie or similar movie was made in 2017. And Zack Snyder is actually the director who made this movie. So he was supposed to work on this movie. But around the time they were doing the production, Snyder's daughter passed away sadly, which is super painful. But then they hired another guy called Josh Whedon, whom I don't know much about. And he completed it. But it was sort of a box office bomb. If you wonder what... a box office bomb is, it's a movie that is not very successful. It is not profitable, ikitolewa, that is. So when Zack Snyder came back into the scene, people actually, crew members, fans of DC Universe, all rallied and started a movement to bring Zack Snyder back and to make him do a cut of the same film in his own way. So Warner Brothers, the company, listened to the people, and Zack Snyder was brought on board, and he did his thing, man. And when people had it's 4 hours and all, people were like, will this work? Will this? People are just skeptical because the other film was a flop. But people, put your doubts aside. And spoiler alert, if you have not watched this film, please don't listen to this podcast any further than this. So I've put a disclaimer, so you cannot charge me in the court of law for ruining the movie for you. So anyway, so you're wondering. First of all, I have to say, DC Comics and Marvel Universe have a very striking similarity because they have a very striking past. They have a very similar past. And you'll notice that I noticed this, that some of the superheroes are similar in a way, and their storylines are almost similar. Because remember, in the Marvel Universe, Thanos seeks to destroy the whole existence or something with the Infinity Stones, and the Infinity Stones become only destructible. They become destructive, that is, not destructible. They become destructive when they're all put together. And remember that Thanos had to look for them in different universes so that when he had them all to himself, he could destroy the universes. And the superheroes came together to now destroy Thanos. It is more or less the same storyline here. So here we have somebody called the Dark Side. The Dark Side, man. And then we have another guy called Steppenwolf. And then they have their army called Parademons. So they're technically people who are turned into Parademons so that they can be loyal to the master, who is Dark Side. And guys, over the past few years, let me just say 2-3 years, I've been fascinated by villains in movies. Just say talk about Joker, talk about Thanos, now talk about Darkseid and Steppenwolf. There's just something fascinating about films that develop their villains. And I've noticed something also, that films have been glorifying their villains. In a way, you find villains appealing. They make them have this strength, this appeal, and they make them antagonistic so much so that they annoy you, but you want them to be there. Thanos' power is annoying because it erases our existence, but Thanos is fascinating in his own way. Let's talk about this movie here. Steppenwolf is now, Darkseid is the top of the chain, and then Steppenwolf is the servant of Darkseid. And then here we have something called the Mother Boxes, and there are 3. Just like the Infinity Stone, here they are called the Mother Boxes. And I'm not, DC comic fans, don't come after me. I'm just stating the similarities, and I don't know which story came before which one. It doesn't matter. They're all fine. So, to destroy Earth and other universes, Steppenwolf is mandated by Darkseid to go and find these 3 Mother Boxes. And the combined power of these 3 Mother Boxes destroys existence as we know it, and it ushers in the world of Darkseid, and he rules. So the mandate of the Justice League is to stop this from happening. And the first and the natural leader here is Batman, Ben Affleck. As you remember, even in Batman vs Superman, he had to bring the team together just to stop Superman from coming back and destroying everything. So it seems that Batman is an official leader of the Justice League. So it begins with him trying to bring people together. So if you remember the cut that came out, or even the Batman vs Superman saga, you remember, Superman dies but he comes back. It is the same thing here. So they have to actually go against Steppenwolf without Superman in the first place. And even me, when the movie was starting, I was like, will they manage? But anyway, never underestimate the power of Batman. He's human with superhuman powers. So, of course, Batman is played by Ben Affleck, my favorite Batman of all time. This guy delivers, even in his other films, even in the Accountant. This guy is just exceptional. Like, Ben Affleck is the embodiment of Batman, just like Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man. When you think Batman, you think Ben Affleck. And my guy, Henry Cavill, even though most likely he's left his role as Superman as of now, and the cut that this director used is a previous cut, I have to say he's arguably the best performing Superman I've ever seen, and that's just my personal opinion. And of course, Wonder Woman, done by Gal Gadot. I'm not sure if that's the spelling of her name, but she really does. And fun fact, she's Israeli, and she was Miss Israel or Miss Universe Israel or something back in 2004. And you remember, she became Miss Universe and a model, Miss Israel and a model, but then went and served as mandatory in the Israeli army. So cool. That means I suspect that the martial arts scenes and everything she does is from her training previously. And she's Wonder Woman even in real life. That's so amazing. And then we have the Cyborg. Cyborg is done by a guy called Ray Fisher. I'm not so well conversant with Ray Fisher, but Cyborg is also called Victor Stone in the film. And then the guy of the moment, the man we have all been waiting for, Jason Momoa. He does Aquaman. Aquaman has never fascinated me, like never, ever, ever, ever. But when Jason Momoa did Aquaman, he killed it. He made me love a DC comic action figure. Like, I was like, yeah, he's just a cool guy, Maze. He's cool. His mannerisms, how he does it, the action sequence, everything. And then we have Flash done by Ezra Miller. And as I will mention moving forward, in comparison to other Flashes or other speedsters, I think the depiction of the Flash in this cut of Justice League is just beyond amazing. And previously, even if you look at the Flash, the series, the film series, they concentrate on his speed as much, which is, of course, they should concentrate on his speed. But in this film, I realize they concentrate on the fact that he's so fast that time slows down. In other films, they make the slowing down of time parts of the moving fast parts, But here, they concentrate on the time stopping factor. And it is so amazing, my people. So, of course, Batman manages to bring the team together, and they go ahead and revive Superman. And if you remember in the Batman vs Superman saga, when Superman comes back, he does not remember, and he sees these teammates as threats, and they fight. They have a fight scene until Lois Lane comes in. Lois Lane is Superman's girlfriend in all movies, all comics, if you remember. So Lois Lane is the one who makes Superman to calm down, and they go back to the farm where he grew up, and he meets his mother. He goes back to talk to his ancestors in the ship, and all these memories come back. So let's talk about why this movie is one of the best for me. The action sequence, the way the fight scenes are arranged and the way they are executed, Maze, it is perfect. It is wonderful. Zack Snyder outdid himself, Maze. Even the action figures, the action people, they really outdid themselves, Maze. If you look at how Wonder Woman did it, how Batman did it, he battles parademons. And remember, parademons are like superhumans. And all that Batman has is his hands, his skills, and his supercar, So and he has this climber thing, I've forgotten the name that he uses. So you seeing him in those fighting scenes, fighting against parademons, and where they gang up together and have this plan. He goes inside, with no on little backup, and does his thing. And the action sequence is to die for. And you don't appear like straining when you watch the action sequence. It just flows, it just flows well. It flows without much struggle. There are no much. I hate when I see a fighting scene and then there's flashing all over, see flashing all over. It's not fun at all. Anyway, I love the part where they bring back Superman and Superman joins them. This is my best fighting scene. The last fighting scene where they fight Steppenwolf, he has already combined the Mother Stones, He's combined them, and now the Mother Boxes, not the Mother Stone. I keep confusing that. He's combined the Mother Stone. So Steppenwolf was to combine the Mother Stone, and then Darkseid was to come and take over the... Yeah, so that last action sequence is just beyond amazing. Like how they fight together. And Victor Stone is mandated with starting the separation of the... it's called the Mother Boxes. And then the Flash has to circle around and provide the final energy needed to separate these Mother Boxes. So what happens is this. In the process of, circling around so that the Flash gathers enough energy, one of the parademons actually shoots down Flash. And in that moment, Steppenwolf goes ahead to go and kill Victor Stone. But Superman arrives just in time. All this time he's been finding himself, so he has not joined these guys in the fight actively. And then he comes just on time, just when Steppenwolf is going to knock Victor Stone out. And the coolest thing, coolest literally, is that he blows. How he blows the coolness out of things, he freezes things. Steppenwolf has this stuff that he uses to stuff, like as in STAFF. That stuff, he uses it to generate energy and to knock people off. And Superman just holds it by his hand and just blows it casually, like whoo, and then that stuff gets frozen and then he knocks it out. And for a moment there, Steppenwolf is startled. He's like, who's this? Who am I? And then Superman punches him and knocks him and throws him around, and it's just a nice satisfying scene. And Wonder Woman joins in and Aquaman comes in, and in the end, Superman joins Victor Stone in separating these three mother boxes, because if they had not separated the mother boxes, the dark side would have come and eventually conquered the world. So if you're wondering, Steppenwolf is finally thrown back into his dark side world, and actually Wonder Woman cuts off his neck as he goes in there. And one of the things I also noticed is that the striking similarities between Victor Stone and Aquaman, because all of them are having father issues. Because if Aquaman is a mixture of human and the Atlantis people, so he's not fully Atlantis, and he's always had a problem going back home. And even in the film, Amber Heard plays a character. I don't remember the name of that character. Sorry, Amber Heard. Amber Heard. I'm laughing because Amber Heard is a very funny human being in real life. So Amber Heard and this other guy, they are begging Aquaman to go and take his rightful place as the king of Atlantis. But because he felt that he didn't have a connection with his father, or he felt abandoned, he never wanted to go back to Atlantis. So he'd go to the sea for a bit and then come back and drink himself off on Earth. Same with Victor Stone. Victor Stone, growing up, his mother was there for him. He was a football player, and his mother was present at the game, but his father was never present because he used to work for Star Labs and did a lot of research, so he barely created time for Victor. And one time when they were coming back from the game, an accident occurred and Victor's mother passed on, and Victor's almost half of his body was torn. So what did the father do? Victor Stone's father took one of the mother boxes that was stored on Earth and used its energy to recreate and save the life of Victor Stone, and that's how Victor Stone became the cyborg. And they didn't really have a going connection with his father, because he felt that his father was never there, and he blamed his father for his mother's death and all. But as the film progresses, and because Star Labs is directly connected with the progression of this film, Victor Stone partly and eventually accepts his father, who goes ahead to die, sacrificing himself for the cause. But then Victor Stone eventually lets all of it. That anger, you can see that it has gone down. And also Aquaman, in the end, he meets Amber Heard and the other guy at the beach, and he talks about the possibility of going back home someday. So yeah, they have further issues. That rage, they use it to direct the rage towards saving the world, towards fighting evil and all. And you can see how they tapped into that energy. Same with actually the Flash's father was wrongfully accused of the Flash's mother's death, and he's in prison. So each time his father feels, he blames himself for how the life of Barry turned out, and Barry's never happy about it. But at the end of the day, Barry goes and shows him the work he's gotten at Star Labs and makes him really happy. And another thing I wanted to mention is how all the universes of these various characters are connected. If you have watched independently, Batman independently, if you watch Superman independently, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman's tribe is called the Amazons. If you watch Wonder Woman, you remember her story is connected, and how she ended up on Earth and left her planet. And Aquaman, how his life and his relationship with Atlantis people is. So all these universes are intertwined into one story, and I'd love to say Zack Snyder has done an amazing job. The dialogue, the action, the picture itself, the graphics. Oh, this film is well done, and it will be worth the 4 hours of your time. And the music, the music for me in films is very important. So yeah, so it's one of the characters I have to mention that was introduced in the film is the Martian. The Martian, yes. The Martian is one of the characters that is introduced in this film, and it starts in one of the scenes. Ukombele, he disguises himself because I think he's from Krypton, the same as Superman, but he's always been under the ako chini ya maji, So he disguises himself as Clark's mother and goes to talk to Lois to tell Lois to go back to her normal life and not to cry or grieve. Because since Superman died, Lois has never gone back to her job. She's been lonely, she's been sad. So he disguises himself just to check up on Lois and. Yes, so it's called the Martian Manhunter, and I think if I'm not wrong, he's from Krypton also. So he, at the end of the film, towards the end, he goes ahead and speaks to Batman and tells Batman that I'm here. In any case, I will be needed, and he tells him, some have called me Martian the Manhunter, and I don't know why. Batman seems not to know him, but I think Superman might know Martian the Manhunter. I have not done a lot of research into all the characters of DC Comics, but assuredly, Martian the Manhunter, if any person is from Krypton, most likely they are super, super powerful. And other people to mention are like Lex Luthor. If you know Lex Luthor, if you watch Smallville, the series is one of the places Lex Luthor's character was really built. Lex Luthor is always, anywhere you have Superman, Lex Luthor always has to be there. And Lex Luthor always is this supervillain who does not like Superman at all. And there they end up meeting with someone called Slade Wilson. So Slade Wilson is another supervillain who is always after Batman, and because Lex calls him on board, he identifies Batman and tells Slade that Bruce Wayne is the Batman, which makes Slade very, very happy. So yeah, so these are Lex Luthor and Slade are not major players in this film, but I think that it shows that it's a premonition for what is to come. There might be an ongoing battle between Slade Wilson and Batman in the future, now that he knows the identity of Batman as Bruce Wayne, And then at the end of it, something weird happens when the film is ending. So Batman has this weird dream, and it involves Slade Wilson, Victor, Barry Allen, Mera is actually now Amber Heard. She plays that character, Mera, and the Joker. And they are going up against the evil Superman in a like sort of a post-apocalyptic world of sort, a destroyed world. So I don't know why that cut has been put there, but definitely it is a premonition of what we are to accept next. Because now, just like this Marvel universe, these people can play in alternate universes, they can have alternate realities. So I don't know, because I'm not a DC comic fan, I cannot assuredly say, but I can say, as I have seen in previous films, that dream that Batman had of the post-apocalyptic world where they have to go up against Superman again, most likely is a show of what is to come next. At the end of the day, I have to say everyone gave their best. Ben Affleck was the quiet, reserved Batman who did it so well and brought out the life into Batman. And Henry Cavill, as usual, Clark Kent, Superman, he did it. Best Superman of all time, And then, we have Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, or the other name is Diana Prince. She is a demigoddess, Amazonian warrior of all time. She is strong, she is vicious, she is amazing. And Victor Stone, the much reserved, angry young man, is he did justice to that character. Jason Momoa, amazing work as usual. I don't know if anyone will ever beat the bar that Jason Momoa set up high, it is amazing. And then this guy called Ezra Miller, now I have to start following him because he's just amazing. He did Barry Allen or The Flash really well. And I think generally whoever did Steppenwolf and Darkseid also did a good job. Those villains are just amazing. They're just amazing. I'm wondering how will it be if Thor, Darkseid, and Steppenwolf is now dead. I'm not sure. Darkseid stepped on his severed head at the end of the day. I'm wondering if Darkseid combined forces with Thanos and then went up against Justice League and the Avengers. How would it be? I'm just imagining. Anyway, at the end of the day, I think Zack Snyder did a good job in bringing these characters together. It was really amazing. I really enjoyed that film, and when you watch it, I hope you enjoy it too. And if you're wondering why I watched it, yeah, if you want online, you can find this film because these big production companies have decided that Africa is not a worthy enough market to have their releases done, and we usually get movies 1 month or 2 months later, which is so sad. Even in the theaters, we don't get them immediately. It takes about a little while before it reaches our theaters. And I hope these production companies learn that Africans consume a lot of movies, and the more they hide it from Africans, the more the Africans find these sites where they can access these movies. And that is not, if you can put them on Netflix, put them on our territories, put them on our theaters, put them on our streaming sites. And come on, guys, we will watch and we'll buy those streaming, we'll pay for those streaming platforms. So, production company bosses, if you're listening to this, please consider Africans. We are also a very huge market. So, guys, have a lovely day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world, and see you on the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Pieces of My African Soul. I have been your host, Jephthah Malela. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.